4.
Okay, so we're back again with another outstanding episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I am Nick, and with me, as always, is Anthony Rook, and I've got TJ, who's hammered right here. This guy, right that way. All right, welcome back. We are currently watching the Knicks lose to the Hawks. So we might be a little distracted during this recording. Right now, we're down by 10. It's the third quarter, so it's a little nervous right now. But we're going to get on with the show regardless. Ant, talk to me about the agenda. What we got going on?
All right. Well, first, I think we're going to get into the playoffs. We have three New York teams that are in the playoffs currently. I think we also have and we have the Islanders who are playing right now as well, who are up 5. I think they're up 5-3 last I saw.
Game's over. They won.
The game's over. The game's won. Oh, so there you go. Islanders won. They advance. So that's a good night for those.
Bye-bye, Sydney.
I wonder who called that one. That's
He did. But they're going to lose to Boston, so it doesn't matter.
I called that too, though, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, we're good with that too. And I guess we don't have an ice here. I mean, both me and TJ both have to get iced because obviously TJ lost the Capitals and I lost the Oilers, who got swept.
Bye-bye, Tom Wilson.
I picked the Oilers too.
I will happily drink that Smirnoff Ice.
But I thought we were doing the ice for the quarters, not for the semis, not for the quarters.
Well, we figured just because if your team gets eliminated out of the 5, I'm out of the 4.
Hold on, you picked Edmonton to win that whole quarter?
Yeah.
Oh, were you high?
Yeah, I picked the Caps.
He picked the Caps though, so it's like similar.
It's fine. I'm happy.
No.
Connor McDavid, come to New York, please, for the love of God.
It was McDavid.
Listen, picking the Caps to win that bracket is fine. Picking the Oilers is not. Like, I don't know where you thought that was okay.
I thought McDavid was good enough to carry the team, but then I realized it's hockey. It's not. I'm
trying to remember who I picked out of that. I definitely didn't pick Edmonton, that's for sure.
Nah,
I picked them to win Toronto. That series.
Yeah, me and you were a Toronto pal.
That's right. I picked Toronto.
Toronto,
I picked Toronto to beat Edmonton. That's what it was. But now it'll just be Toronto beating Winnipeg.
Yeah, which is you're fine. You don't have to do ice yet, but we do. I guess next time. I didn't get a chance to buy a Smirnoff Ice, so we'll do it next time. Or maybe we'll just do it randomly and post it.
Well, no, we'll do it at the end. Go for the mail and find a nice Smirnoff Ice in your mailbox.
We'll do at the end of that bracket, just because I might have to do it too if Toronto doesn't win.
Toronto's up 3-1, so they're not going.
All right. Look, I got the rain because they called off the Yankee game today because a rain. So I got the rain.
Yeah. It sucks. No Yankee game today, but. All right, we'll get into things we have. I guess we'll start with the Islanders. Nick, you wanted to talk about this. The New York Jets were at the Islanders game, which was that was some funny videos, some funny footage. I always love when the football players go to support the local hockey team during spring training. What is it? Spring camps, I guess.
Yeah,
that's always fun. I saw the one guy with the mullet, and that mullet looked glorious.
Yeah, that was Feeney, Dan Feeney.
That was
the mullet with the mustache, and he chugged a beer and crushed it.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, Lisa Wilson's son was there, but he doesn't drink, so he crushed a water, which we did when I was overseas and I couldn't drink. That's what we did. He did.
You
know, I saw a bunch of people
you're out in the desert.
A bunch of people on Twitter giving him crap because he doesn't drink, and I'm like, drinking doesn't make you a man, guy. Like, you can not drink and just be. Like, he doesn't drink. There's no big deal. Like, whatever.
He has a hot mom. That's what he does.
That's it, man. Listen, his uncle owns JetBlue. His mom's hot, and he plays football. I don't think he needs to drink.
That's it.
I was also not because he's still not 21 yet either. He looks like a child, so he probably gets ID'd everywhere.
No, he's like 22, I think.
No, I know he's over 21, but he looks like he's like a preteen.
Oh, absolutely. But even if he was, like, he doesn't drink. Who gives a shit? Like, don't drink.
Yeah,
you kid.
It's whatever. And everybody.
Dude, listen, I know my starting quarterback will never get a DUI, which is a huge problem in the NFL. So hey, one less problem to have, right? But it's cool that the Jets were at the Islanders game. I'd rather they be at the Ranger, a real New York game, go to a Ranger game. But it is what it is. But it's cool that they were out together. It was cool that I think that was the most important thing I took away from it was like the offensive line went out with the quarterback and they all went out together. That's the most important part for me.
Yeah, team building exercises are always great during these, spring camps, whatever, OTAs. And then you also have the fact, the Islanders just won in the Coliseum, which they're not going to play there anymore, I think, moving forward. So that's a good story for them to at least get that one last playoff series win. The crowd's always electric in the Islanders. I know you guys hate the Islanders. I don't like the Islanders either, but as a Ranger fan, but the crowd is always incredible there.
I hate Long Island.
Yeah, but the fans are always great there.
Listen, I hate the 6 guys they got there. Yeah. Listen, King Avery already said that Rangers fans go out to Long Island and we scream over their own fans in their own barn. He said it. So like, I'm not worried about the Islanders. I hate Long Island. They happen to represent the place I don't like. It's like Boston. I don't hate the Bruins. They're from Boston. I hate Boston. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we have more Islanders hockey coming to you. So then we play in the Bruins. So it's a
gonna be a good series.
Two teams don't like.
That's gonna be a good series.
It's like I hope
that would be good. I hope that. I wouldn't be surprised if that one goes 7. That's those are 2 hard fought teams. I think that'll be a good series.
Yeah, sure. It should be pretty good. It'll be interesting to see Marchand versus Martin. That'll happen. That'll happen at some point.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. I can't wait to hear what Boomer has to say about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. You think he's gonna lick him at one point? Coming out to licking people. Didn't he get in trouble for that? He got suspended, or not suspended, but he got fined or something. Get told to stop, right?
Yeah, he licked Callahan.
Yeah,
when they were playing Tampa Bay. That's just sad. It's just like of all the things you could do, you lick somebody.
Lick someone. What's more annoying, the Lance Stevenson blowing into LeBron's ear or Brad Marchand licking you?
The licking's worse. It's actually your tongue touching another dude. I mean, unless you're into other dudes, which is fine. But I don't think that's the case.
But if you're not into other dudes, you're just taking away opportunities from guys that are into other dudes, and you're just kind of like throwing it in their face. So it's like,
I mean, not for nothing.
That's messed up.
Go ride the New York City subway and lick a random dude and see what happens. You're probably gonna die.
Even if you blow his ear, you're probably gonna die. First of all, you're probably not going to New York
I didn't
subways
mean
anyway.
from catching anything. I mean, like, you will get stabbed. Like, go lick a random unassuming man with a briefcase and a suit, and he will probably still stab you because it's New York City, and we don't play that shit.
Just go on the subway, and you'll probably get stabbed.
There's a good chance. Always a good chance of getting stabbed on the subway.
That's pretty accurate. But that should be a good series. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think we will be seeing 2 double overtimes since the playoffs started.
We've seen a couple. I mean, there's been a lot of overtime games, which has been fun.
Yeah, the Edmonton game went into double overtime.
Triple? I thought that was triple.
It went into triple, and then the Preds game went into double.
Yep.
Yeah, and that first Golden Knights game was 0-0 going into overtime.
Listen, talking about Preds, that unallowed goal, okay?
That was brutal.
The NHL is a clown show at this point. They're trying to bring fans in. Okay, the NHL doesn't get enough love from the fans. We don't get the masses like NBA, NFL, MLB. But NHL fans are rock steady. They love their sport. They love hockey. And then you got to watch where a skate is possibly in the crease, right? 5 seconds before a shot takes place. And then the Predators' own captain smacks into the goalie, and they call goaltender interference. The puck wasn't even shot at the net yet. And they're going to say that the goalie did not have the ability to make a play on a shot that did not take place yet. I mean, come on. It's such a soft thing. Like it happened to the Golden Knights Wild game the other night. And it's the goaltender interference is, I'm sorry, that should not be a reviewable play. If the refs on the ice with their eyesight can't say definitively that the goaltender was interfered with, it wasn't interfered with. Like, unless somebody's getting taken out of the play. I mean, how long did we have to watch Henrik Lundqvist get run into the back of his own net and goals allowed? And now we're going to watch these games where a toe might have been in a crease 5 seconds before a shot took place. Oh, disallowed goal. You think that's good for the sport?
That's toe horrible. In the crease. This is a family show, guy. We need you to watch your mouth. We don't need to talk about sexual innuendo, toes in the crease and whatnot.
Hey, man, toe, pinky, whatever you're into, pal.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's happening across all sports, though, isn't it?
Everything is softening up. It's getting ridiculous with the video replay. I mean,
kids are making too much money, man.
It's a shame, dude. And when you have, like, I mean, not to switch over to the MLB right away, but you have commentators actually talking about robo strike zones. Like, come on. Like, enough.
Yeah,
I get the video replay for the home runs. The home runs are it's key because guess what? When you're standing by third base or first base, you can't see in a lot of these ballparks where they make them ridiculous, where you can't tell if the ball goes out or not because there's a random yellow line in the middle of a wall. I mean, you need that instant replay. You need to go to the video footage, but enough is enough. I mean, dude, what was that play? What's his name? Pops off the bag yesterday during the Mets game, and it's an out.
Oh yeah, it's
as
second
he's
base
sliding
is
in.
out.
I mean, like if you have to go to video footage to confirm that for a split second his toe wasn't on the bag as he's popping up from a slide, get out of here, please.
Yeah, but you got to admit that prior to that, right? There were a lot of situations where the neighborhood play that you were in a different zip code. You weren't.
Yeah, but that's not a neighborhood play.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying is that so like where they drew the line for replay, it's choppy. It's choppy. Not to get off topic, but as far
the
as
guy gets off the base like this much out of the air and then touches it again, and it's like, well, he's out.
He's out. He's out. I mean, he's out.
He is out.
Where is it going to end? Because you know what?
That.
If I'm a coach and I see a pitcher pushing off the mound a little too hard, I want to make sure I want to see his foot contacting the rubber and not sanding between the rubber and his foot. Oh, no, that's not a pitch. I mean, what are we going to go do next? Get the Hubble Space Telescope to zoom in. The fuck are we doing? Like, enough. It's common. It should be used in common sense situations and not like, oh, let's pick this apart with the super slow-mo and see if we can get a call out of it. That's not baseball. It's not hockey. It's bullshit.
I mean, in football, they use it a lot. In basketball, they use it sparingly. In baseball, there's almost very seldomly ever a challenge. Truthfully, what do you get? 3 challenges per game, 2 before the 7th and 1 after?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time like I saw back-to-back games where somebody challenged. Hockey, it happens more often, honestly, because they're getting more like basketball where there's lines on the ice.
Yeah, but you know what? The offsides is understandable. I mean, but goaltender interference. If you don't see it on the ice, if you don't, with your own eyesight, don't see him getting interfered with, and then you're going to come back with, oh, his toe was in the crease. How does that interfere with the play at all?
I don't disagree with you on that one. But again, that has to be something to be addressed by the NHL.
I mean, the good thing about that, though, is the Carolina Hurricanes went on and won the game in overtime, which was right. At least they didn't really get screwed over. I mean, obviously, it would have been done earlier that game because they probably would have tied it earlier. But still, I mean, at least it worked out for them at the end. I mean, at least
it affects the game.
Otherwise, but you would be hearing it even more now if they didn't win that game. If they didn't score that game-tying goal, or they didn't tie it and bring it to overtime. I mean, you would be hearing this a lot more than right now. But
right.
I mean, it does help them though. If the Carolina Hurricanes won the game, because they could just sweep under the rug and just be like, "Well, they won the game anyway," so we can just shit at that point.
Yeah, but if somebody gets hurt, I mean, he's got a point. If somebody gets hurt at that point, then now that doesn't happen, or you're tired more the next day, or whatever.
No, I get that too.
A million different things that could have happened.
Okay, so we're going into 2 of hockey's biggest names that are just hating life right now due to the franchises that they're stuck with. We're talking about Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. So, I mean, obviously McDavid had a tough, get swept in the playoffs. He's probably really unhappy. They had that huge lead in Game 3. They're up 4-1 in the third period. They go up blowing it, and I think they lose in overtime. And then you have the triple OT in Game 4, and they end up losing that game. So, obviously, I don't think anyone hates life more than right now than Connor McDavid, because I think you can't do much more than that for while you're in the playoffs. But I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it's 2 possible trade for the New York Rangers here?
I don't think. I mean, listen, I would love to get McDavid, but he's in the middle of an 8-year, $100 million contract. So,
wow, it's a big contract, actually.
Yeah, he signed it in 2017. So he has 4 years left on that contract, making $50 million in those 4 years. So, I mean, I don't see him going anywhere, but a man can dream.
Yeah. Would you give up?
I think the other night when they blew that lead, it was the most vocal I'd seen him this entire season, where you could just see in his face that he was like, damn, what the fuck is like, I'm out here doing me. What is everybody else on this team doing? Like, I think there's a clip. I think we saw that clip where there's 3 guys on one side of the ice and nobody, this is just one-on-one guy and goalie. And he's got the puck. And it was just like, what are these 3 jamokers doing? Like, just sitting there, like, in the crease, but on one side. Like, I mean, if you're a star on a team, you got to be frustrated in general. Like, to make the playoffs is one thing, but to go there and absolutely embarrass yourself, it's like, what was the point?
And I think they were the 2 seed in that bracket too, of the Canadian bracket.
Yeah,
I believe they were.
Yeah,
they were
Toronto was 1.
Toronto was 1.
But we talked about that. That's hockey. That's, you know.
I mean, obviously it doesn't matter because hockey. Hockey's hockey. They're gonna, lower seed could win a series. It could be close, and it could be a sweep. I guess. I mean, we've seen it before when an 8 seed swept the 1 seed when the Tampa Bay Lightning lost out that series against who was it? I don't remember who it was, but they got swept before. So hockey, that happens. But
listen, in hockey, you want to keep your star players happy, and I mean, I think the perfect example is Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall wanted out of the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wanted out again this year from what's it called, and made his way to the Bruins.
Yeah,
and started scoring goals immediately. I mean, sometimes a change of scenery helps a lot.
Does help, yeah.
But I don't think the Oilers are. You never know. The Oilers did give up Wayne Gretzky after winning 4 Stanley Cups in 5 years. So crazier things have happened, but I just don't see them ever letting McDavid go.
I think it's a lot of money, but Eichel, I see Eichel more. But I think it's. I mean, think about it, besides the money, would you guys give up Kakko and Lafreniere for Connor McDavid?
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
Nick doesn't seem like.
I don't know. I know what I'm getting with McDavid. Right?
He's a generation player.
And you're right, he is. But with that contract, and then you're giving up our Lafreniere is supposed to be a generational player too. A number 2 to McDavid's number 1.
Isn't shown it yet, but
no, that's what I mean. I'm not saying they're not.
Listen,
I'm not
guys. I'm not
giving up on him, but
you know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what you're getting with Connor McDavid, and you're getting a star. You're getting a potential 100-point player.
You're absolutely right, but who's he playing with?
You build around him, dude.
I mean, that's easy to say, but look at the Oilers.
Yeah, and he has a big contract, and I mean, but you
have to find that balance.
I get that.
You have to find that balance between the
team around
the high end and high price talent, and the players you're going to build around. And in sports like hockey and football, where there's salary caps and you have to have multiple good players, not just 3 guys. It's harder. It's harder to find that balance where you're like, all right, yeah, I could go after Connor McDavid, but I could get the same amount of points out of these 2 guys and still throw in another 3 guys on there.
I get it, but think about it. How many players are the Rangers going to lose? Who are they going to take when they do the expansion with the Kraken in Seattle? Who are we losing? Who are we protecting? I think you can only protect, 5 players?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I forgot the expansion.
I mean, the team's getting broken up a little bit.
Maybe you address that then.
I just think if the Rangers had any prayer of getting Connor McDavid for whatever the price, I don't think you laugh at that at all. I think he's a player that immediately makes your team better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not saying give it up on Lafreniere yet, but I was just saying.
No, I'm not saying Kakko and Lafreniere. You're not giving up on them, but to get an established top player in the league.
I'll tell you this: I wouldn't give up Lafreniere, but I'd give up Kakko and Kravtsov and even Miller.
Yeah, but that wouldn't do it. I don't even think Kakko and Lafreniere would do it.
And probably and you know what? Probably Buchnevich, because he's been going for a while now, as far as I remember.
Yeah. Listen, that's the one thing about hockey. I mean, how many elite players have the Rangers lost because they're not going to pay them, or with the cap space and stuff like that? The Rangers have a really good ability to get players that are worth more than we can pay under the salary cap. I mean, look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is like the Rangers of the South. I mean, look at the Wild.
Except that they win Stanley Cups every so often.
Yeah. Well, when you have Stamkos racking up goals left and right. But look at how many players have left the Rangers and gone on to be top 3 on their team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how many of those guys are on bad teams? You know what I mean? Like, what's his face? He's doing great on the Flyers, but he's on the Flyers.
Well, what about I think a more realistic trade that would happen would be the Jack Eichel, which I thought was going to happen this year.
And we could use Jack Eichel so badly. We need a center. We need to win a fucking face-off just one time.
But do you like the nickname Eichel Tower? Do you like that one? No, I hate it.
That's a John Sterling one.
I'm not a France guy.
No.
As far as gone. The Eichel Tower takes one deep.
So fucking John Sterling.
It is. That is Johnson. But that's his nickname. But it's stupid. I don't like it. We got to get a new one.
But hopefully, listen, you're right. McDavid's not going anywhere. Maybe Eichel does. Maybe Eichel does go to the Rangers. We could, again, if we're not using our first round pick on a center this year, then what the fuck are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Center or an enforcer, one of the two.
Yeah, they need an enforcer.
We need to win face-offs.
That's the sad part, man. The Rangers could pick up an enforcer anywhere. I mean, gone are the days where they used to look at not only goals and assists and plus minus, but looking at a person's penalty in minutes for the season. I mean, we fucking took Jeff Bukaboon because, hey, look, this guy's solid on the blue line.
Boom.
Okay, he gets involved in plays, he can move the puck, and he has no problem fucking laying the beats on people.
Well, speaking of, as we were talking about this fighting, they were just going over the fight with the Golden Knights Wild here, with Dumba just destroying Tuck, and then the enforcer there for the Golden Knights came over and fought Dumba. So that was a good fight. But yeah, I mean, the New York Rangers are just soft right now. They're like
very soft team.
Yeah, so I think they got to get an enforcer. They should bring in was Sean William Scott, Goon.
Listen, for a team that had a lot of enforcers, listen, I mean, rest in peace, Derek Boogaard. Boogaard was the boogeyman, dude. People were scared of him. I mean, multiple players talked about how he was just a scary dude. Nobody wanted to fight him, and tough break for him to fucking, God.
All right. Well, moving on from the NHL playoffs, we're going into the NBA playoffs with obviously we're both watching it. Well, I think I don't know if TJ's watching it, but
I'm watching,
two of us are watching.
Minnesota Wild, Vegas Golden Knights, pal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, is it started yet or it's coming out next?
Yeah, 0-0, 13 minutes into 7 minutes into the first.
Okay, there we go. Well, me and Nick are watching the Knicks, so I guess we could we'll keep everyone updated regarding that. But Knicks, tough loss in the Garden. It was electric, though. I mean, it's not a full capacity crowd, but you could just tell the crowd was so into it. They're into it today too.
What the fuck uniforms are the Knicks wearing right now?
This is the city jerseys. They do it every year.
No. I'm not sitting here saying like. What I'm saying is the Knicks haven't made the playoffs in like 20 years. Where are your fucking regular jerseys?
Fugazi jerseys.
Matter of fact, hold on.
They won them last time. Well, anyway, while Nick gets up and goes, we'll continue about the Knicks. Heartbreaking loss. And so
back to the comeback right now. I'm sorry.
I know, we're watching it. It's interrupting us. But yeah, the Knicks, obviously, right now, they're in the midst of a comeback. They were down 15 at one point in the first.
Tie game.
And Nick has a faster feed than I do. So I just saw that. I saw the three from you before I actually started here. So, but talking about game one, I mean, it's tough to talk about right now because they have 14-2 run right now. Trae Young was a big story of game one where he told the Garden crowd to shush afterwards. Well, he said something dirtier, but it's just the way he looked like he was like, shh.
Yeah, but you know what? He seemed I feel like he should have relished in it more because, listen, if I'm good enough where I got a New York crowd telling me to go F myself, and that's embrace. As much as like you said it before on Twitter, me and Nick were Jet fans. We hate Tom Brady. I don't hate Tom Brady as a person. I hated playing him twice a year, knowing that he's going to the Super Bowl and everybody else is playing who? RG3? The fuck out of here. You kidding me?
I hate Tom Brady as a person.
No way. Tom Brady's the man. I hang out with Tom Brady. Drink tequila on a boat.
He broke up with Tom Selleck's daughter while she was pregnant with his kid. He's a piece of shit human being. He can fuck.
I'm not saying. Listen, hey, dude.
I hate Tom Brady.
All right. I'm just saying. Tom Brady.
That woman plays Tom Selleck's daughter on Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods, yeah.
Respect. Okay.
You don't know what happened. That's personal shit.
I don't give a shit. You don't break up with a woman when she's pregnant with your kid. When you're a multimillionaire, there's no reason, unless she tried to stab you, there's no reason to break up with somebody while they're pregnant with your kid. Be a man. Even if she tried to stab you, she's pregnant with your kid. Be a man.
Don't make me go into a Bill Burr, you can't say there's no reason to hit a woman skit, all right?
Tell your wife to
You don't know what happened there, bro. That's personal stuff. That's personal stuff. Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's personally a douche. I know. Like,
I don't know, man. Listen, I hated playing against him. I would fucking give my left foot if he would have been on the Jets that whole time instead of being on the Pats.
Honestly, he probably wouldn't have been that good on the Jets.
I think we'd have been all right.
Nah.
All right.
That Pennington was good on the Jets. End of story.
Things at the game.
So my thing would go back to Trae Young because you got sidetracked.
Get off topic. Sorry.
Basically, I wouldn't be like shush. I'm like, this is my fucking house now. Like that's what I would be saying to them. Like I own this place now.
That's like, how you get stabbed. Going back to New York subways, that's how you get stabbed, bro.
Trae Young not taking the subway home.
No, not the subway, but somebody will walk down there and gank him real quick on the way to Penn Station. Flight of stairs.
Players. What are we gonna do to your players?
God. Yeah, I mean,
it's like that. It's like that Kevin Hart skit where your girlfriend gets beat up and she's looking at you like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Did you see what they did to your face? If they did that to your face, they don't give a shit about my face." You know, if we're gonna throw things at our own players, what are we gonna do to their players?
Well, I guess we'll revisit the Knicks again when we come back at the end of this game because depending on how this game works, we'll be very upset or we'll be happy. It's high series, but we'll see. Hopefully, and then Nets. Yeah, Nets ho-hum, quick, easy win, dominating the Celtics in game 2. So they're up 2-0, and that was expected. The Nets with their
but you know what? This is
super team.
This is why basketball is low on the list of my sports, and it's because you compare it to hockey. Anybody has a chance of winning, and in basketball, the seeding, it's just you're not even in the game. You're not. It's a waste of time at this point.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's crazy to think like. Those are 3 of the top 10 superstars on one team.
Yeah.
And then you look at LA Lakers, who are 17 this year because of the injuries, but they have 2 of the top 10. Like it's just unbelievable. NBA has become the super team league where, teams like the New York Knicks I think they're a good team. They gel well together, they have good players, but you don't see them winning a championship because they have to face against a super team in order to get there.
Well, maybe we can make this Cinderella story last and do something special. I don't know.
I think it would be awesome if it was the Knicks versus Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is possible.
I thought you were going to say something else. I'm like, that's not possible, Rook. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, they're on different sides of the Eastern bracket, so they actually couldn't meet up at the Eastern Conference Finals. But
right. No, I thought you were going to say in the finals.
Beat the Hawks. They're struggling with the Hawks, and I think they'll beat the Bucks after this, so it's unlikely. We have faith.
Listen. I saw a movie once. It could happen. All right.
What movie was that, Eddie?
Angels in the Outfield, baby. But Eddie, yes.
Eddie's
amazing.
Oh, my God. Eddie's not amazing.
Eddie's great.
Eddie's awful.
Bad movie. Patton says Eddie is amazing, all right?
Oh, my God. Eddie's terrible.
Eddie is great, man.
Get out of your mind.
So many cameos. My man John Starks is in Eddie.
Who cares?
See, that's because you're not a basketball fan, man. John Starks is in that.
Now, the best basketball movie is I'll probably get hate for this, but the best basketball movie is what
Air Bud.
They kidnap
Air Bud.
No, they kidnap David Wade's movie.
Celtic Pride.
Celtic Pride's amazing.
Celtic Pride is awesome.
Celtic Pride is amazing.
If you're talking about basketball movies,
Dan Aykroyd.
Aren't there 2
Oh my
like
God.
that?
Yeah.
The one that's a comedy is Celtic Pride, and then the other one's where they kidnap a baseball player, and it's not a comedy. It's not funny at all. It's like
that's the Robert De Niro movie.
Oh,
yeah,
the fan.
the
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Like
they made the same movie twice from 2 perspectives. They were like,
The Fan is such a bad movie because Robert De Niro ends up befriending this guy. He's in the guy's fucking house. He's a total creep. And then at the end of the movie, he tells him, I'm going to, kill your family if you don't get a home run. And then at the end, Robert De Niro is the home plate umpire. It's like, okay, apparently Robert De Niro has more connections than anybody else in the world. It's like, I'm totally going to fuck with this guy. And then at the end, I'm going to be the umpire at the plate. Like, how did he know he wasn't going to be in the rotation to get second base on that game?
Kid Chief, man. Let it be.
That's actually
better than Eddie. Still better than Eddie.
It's such an absurd movie.
Eddie's a great.
Didn't he just like murder? He just like murders people for like no reason too in that movie. The family just kills people.
Yeah. More unbelievable than the fact that it's literally a hurricane torrential downpour during the game, and he's like, "No, we're gonna keep playing."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wesley Snipes slides into the plate, and there's literally a kiddie pool worth of water all over the fucking base.
Yeah, that is an insane scene. That hurricane, they're basically in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah,
like
that was worse than the rain
winds.
during Caddyshack. I don't think the heavy stuff's gonna come down for quite a while.
we should watch that movie again and just like do a podcast on just that movie alone.
You should watch all sports movies, okay?
Things
like Happy Gilmore and Tin Cup. All right, and it's just pure silence and enjoyment.
Hold on. I just watched Tim Cup the other day, and I sent you guys the picture. Kevin Costner's a switch fucking hitter now.
Oh yeah, he plays
dudes in that movie.
I thought you was a homo. I said, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I heard you's a switch hitter.
Yeah. What movie is that from?
This was 61.
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle's telling us, I bring this girl
Mickey
to my room. We're all fumbling around and whatnot. And she stops, looks me dead in the eye and says, I thought you was a homo. I said, what the hell are you talking about? She said, I heard you's a switch hitter.
Switch hitter, yeah. Oh, Mickey Mantle.
Love a girl with small hands.
Oh, my goodness. Cheers to Mickey Mantle.
Cheers.
See, I'm drinking the appropriate drink.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to Mickey Mantle. Not only did he tear through one liver, he tore through two. That's a champion.
How about when we talk about basketball? We just get sidetracked.
The man wasn't a quitter.
Besides basketball, this happens every time.
Hey, listen, when you got a new liver, you want to put some dents in it right away.
It's like, you ever see Shameless? But Frank gets a liver transplant, and then he goes to meet the family for the transplant, and he's like, "Oh, I'm drinking red wine." They're like, "You can't drink. You just got this brand new liver. You can't be drinking with my son's liver." And he's like, "Well, I'm here. I'm still living." And he just starts drinking wine in front of their faces. That's a good scene too.
Another good show.
But anyway, I guess since we sidetrack again, let's get back to the NBA playoffs. Funny one from TJ's favorite basketball player ever, LeBron James.
LeBum.
He goes up for a foul. Obviously, we have the one. Actually, there's two instances because we didn't meet last week. So we had the eye poke in the play-in game where he was on the floor for 80 seconds, and there's that meme which I'll send to you, Nick, later. You could probably post it now.
No, I've seen the meme. I already have it in mind where it shows
80 seconds.
Or 36 seconds on the floor, getting hit in the face with a 94-mile fastball. And LeBron gets a tiny eye poke, and he's rolling around for 80 seconds.
For 80 seconds. And then also Joe Burrow tears both his ACL, MCL, and then other knee damage for 78 seconds on the floor. So it's 2 seconds earlier than LeBron for an eye poke. Okay. So I think that was funny. And then I think we discussed this outside of the podcast, was that, remember the guy who got slashed with the throat? Hockey.
Yeah, what was that?
And that was
Coyotes, correct?
No,
it was Buffalo versus, I can't remember who.
Like the Senators or something.
Victor Zednik or something. Yeah, he was for the Senators.
Times.
And they were playing against the Buffalo Sabres.
Yep, they're playing against the Sabres. And his skate goes up and slits his throat.
His teammate goes up and cuts his throat, and it is brutal. They don't even actually show it.
Squirting.
They show immediately.
It. They show it.
They show it, but they don't. So he literally fell to the ice, jumped back up, grabbed his throat, and then skated to the ice.
Yep.
So if we're talking about in terms of seconds, he was on the ice for maybe 2 at most seconds.
As he spilled blood
everywhere, all over the place.
You know what the craziest part about that game is? The next goalie came in and played in that crease with blood everywhere.
Oh yeah. And then you have LeBron James who gets an eye poke for 80 seconds on the floor. And then in game 1 against Phoenix, he's going up for a rebound. Chris Paul kind of I don't know if he undercuts it, but he grabbed his arm. But obviously, LeBron James is bigger than Chris Paul. He's going over Chris Paul. Obviously, something's going to happen. He's going to fall. So he falls kind of on his shoulder. And he's just writhing in pain, a shoulder, grabbing his face, grabbing his shoulder. And as this is happening, there's a fight going on between the Suns and the Lakers. And all of a sudden he gets up and then starts walking towards the commotion and then drops again on the floor, grabbing his shoulder. It's just LeBron, what are you doing, man? Like, you just got up. Like, how could you just collapse again? Like 5 seconds. Like, did you try to come closer to where the attention was?
That's pretty much what he did. That's what he did.
It is exactly what he did. It's just classic LeBron, and it's he's the flop king, and I think he's actually nominated for an Oscar this year, or at least an Emmy. You got to give him an Emmy.
Yeah,
for best actor.
He's not getting an Oscar for Space Jam. He might get a Razzie. For Space Jam.
Oh, that would be amazing because Space Jam looks terrible.
Oh,
but yeah,
absolutely.
NBA playoffs travel on, and the longer LeBron James is in it, the more we just know he's a bitch. So,
bitch.
Lay bitch. And that's pretty much it for the playoffs right now. Unless you guys want to add anything else to the playoffs.
Knicks are winning 81-78.
I guess we'll come back to it. But
yeah.
All right, so from here, I guess we'll move on to the MLB with the Yankees and Mets. So, Nick, I know you want to talk about this, and obviously Aaron Hicks is out. He's getting surgery. And you're just basically saying there's just no center field on the Yankees, even with Gardner.
Brett Gardner's 95 years old. And I'm sorry, listen, I don't have any hatred toward Brett Gardner, but everybody keeps saying, oh, he's been on the Yankees this long. I don't remember 1 year where he was the Yankees plan A for any position that he ever played.
Well, at one point I thought he started left field.
Not because they ran out of left fielders, because they couldn't sign anybody and they wanted other options, but they didn't get other options. But if you think about it, when he first started playing, he was the backup, and he was the backup, and he was the backup. He was the backup for a lot of years. And then 1 year he was the starter simply because there was nobody better that year, not because that was the guy they planned on having out there. It's just a lot of things didn't plan out the way that they wanted to. And like right now, where he's the last man standing. And honestly, he's old. He's old. I can't expect him to play the rest of the season unscathed. You know what I mean? Like, he's very durable. Don't get me wrong.
But he is durable, though.
One thing I hate about Gardner is the fact that every time he gets on first base, Michael Kay is like, always a threat to steal. Brett Gardner hasn't stolen a base since like 2011.
Yeah, I haven't seen him steal a base in a really long time.
Like he stole, and I know it's not that he hasn't stolen bases. I'm saying is he hasn't stolen bases to the point where we have to talk about it since like 2011, maybe 2013. Right. It's been 8 years. It's been
but
8
the only thing
that
Ricky
Henderson. Let's calm down right now. He's not stealing bases like that. Baseball.
Listen, I love Gardy. Great baseball player. Great for the team. Great locker room guy. But you watch his at bats, and everything's a ground ball. And if it doesn't get through, it's an auto out. And he doesn't hit the ball hard anymore. I mean, not that he had some power when he was in his prime. But
a little pop.
But like it doesn't even get out of the infield anymore. And listen, I get it. He's defensively that's great, but there's plenty of other players that you can bring up that could play a defensive position that might be able to get a little more pop out of the bat. And it's nothing against Brett Gardner, but hey, man, time has come.
Listen, the sun don't shine forever.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that. So the Yankees are in discussions for Delino defeat the Shields. We've been hearing that a lot. Yeah. He actually gets cut on Monday. He's going to opt out on Monday. I can almost put money down that he will opt out on Monday if the Rangers don't trade him, because he has an opt-out on June 1st. If he is not on a major league roster, he can just opt out of his contract with the Rangers. Right. And like every outfielder in Major League Baseball is injured right now. Mike Trout is injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess the thing is, if the other Rangers just becoming the Yankees minor league team, they have Odor, and if they get the Shields,
that was a thing in the 60s, actually, the 50s and 60s.
The Royals.
Athletics. No, the Athletics.
The Royals too, wasn't it?
The Yankees minor league team, to the point where even Roger Maris was with the Athletics in Kansas City. When you say Royals, there were no Royals. Kansas City Athletics.
I know. I didn't realize it was Kansas City.
But the Athletics,
I meant Kansas City,
were their farm team. Like they just took constantly took players away from the Athletics, and it was like that was their farm squad.
Yeah. That's true. That's exactly where Maris came from. Was from Kansas City. So
the convert, and same thing with Bob Serve. Bob Serve came from Kansas City too. So and I think maybe Clete Boyer did as well. But Delino DeShields Jr. is definitely an option to play center field, and so is Esteban Florial. But I think he might be struggling a little bit to play.
Well, they just moved him up to AAA, so I know he was started off pretty well, but I don't know if he's.
Actually,
I
I'm
haven't
thinking
looked up.
Davey Garcia is struggling right now, but Esteban Florial.
Well, David Garcia is a starting pitcher.
No. I read a lot. I get them confused. Who's
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a lot of people.
Let's see, Esteban.
But they're also talking about Ketel Marte from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that was the next person I was going to mention was Ketel Marte, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, that's another option looking at there, and that would be another trade. Just trying to. So I'm looking up the minor league stats here.
But I think for me, the most important one would be getting the Shields Jr. Simply because if he opts out on June 1st, then you're not giving anything up. You're signing him to be on a major league team that's a contender. He might just be happy to sign. And I think that the Yankees prosper off of doing things like that. Think of in recent memory, Cameron Maybin when he came up, Mr. Hugs, and he added a little flair to that Yankee team. You look at Tauchman. Tauchman came up. People were so upset when we traded Mike Tauchman. He's batting like 120 with San Fran.
Yeah, he hasn't been great.
Everybody freaked out because that first day we traded him to San Fran, he went like 3 for 5 with a homer.
He was like,
see, we should have kept him. He's batting like 120 now. Everybody calm down. Calm down. All right.
So back to Florial, that's an option. I don't have it broken up with the AAA and AA, but and 79 plate appearances, 69 at bats, 9 runs, 14 hits, 6 home runs, 9 RBIs, 1 triple, 3 doubles, 20 strikeouts. So 203 batting average, 295 OPB, 831 OPS, slugging 536. So, I mean, not terrible. I don't know. I just don't know the breakdown of how he's doing in Scranton.
About average for the Yankees lineup.
So those numbers were better.
He fit right in perfectly.
Yeah.
Those numbers were better way before he got to Scranton.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they were.
He was batting like 400 in AA. But also keep in mind, this
team
didn't play last year at all. There was no minor league season.
That's true. They didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play.
That's why they're not rushing it. And that's fine. If they trade him for somebody, then, hey, that's a conversation to have. Let's say they traded him for Marte. That's a conversation to have,
Yeah.
But I think we beat that like a dead horse.
Which one?
The Yankees. We beat the Yankees like a dead horse.
Yeah.
At least the center field.
Here's his number. So 34 at bats, only 6 hits. So he's batting 176. So that's why he's not calling.
That's right.
Because he's struggling in AAA, so that makes sense why he's not an option right now. But maybe he heats up, and later on in the year, he's a good addition to the lineup. But
hopefully,
at some point, it'd be nice to get a center fielder in here to make Aaron Hicks obsolete. And
his name is Jason Dominguez.
Outright release by Aaron Hicks.
And Aaron Hicks, what did they sign him for the 7-year extension? So that's always.
At the time, it seemed like a great idea.
Seemed like an awesome idea because it was like a good deal. But now it's like brutal. Anyway, how
about the Mets? It's pretty bad when your team owner is tweeting out, anybody want to suit up? And all respecting people on Twitter is like, no, we're good, dude. I'd rather go pick up trash for a living. Thank you.
Tim Tebow should suit up for the Mets. He quit baseball too soon. He'd be playing for the Mets right now.
Right now, no problem. He'd be batting third.
They have a lot of. I can't believe how many injuries they have. That they are playing like Tomas Nido. I mean, Tonas Nido is playing pretty good, but like he's like the stud right now. Which is like
who's on the IL right now? Pete Alonso's on the IL. DeGrom,
Syndergaard.
DeGrom just came back.
Syndergaard
just came back. Syndergaard
rehab start.
Yep.
You guys
one inning in.
Really?
One inning in.
One inning into a rehab start, and Syndergaard walked off the mound.
Really?
Soreness.
Wow.
Yep.
So he'll get set back. All right, so are you guys ready for this? So Pete Alonso, 10-day DL. Dom Smith is day-to-day. Tommy Hunter, 10-day IL. Jordan Realmuto, he's 60-day IL. Fargas, the left fielder, 10-day IL. JD Davis, 10-day IL. Noah Syndergaard still in the 60-day. Taijuan Walker, 10-day IL. Seth Lugo, 60-day. Carlos Carrasco, 60-day. Conforto, and Jeff McNeil. Dylan Betances. I'm not doing the days, how many left, but obviously Kevin Pillar with the face injury. Albert Almora Jr., and that's just since May 22nd.
So of the ones that you mentioned, the only ones that are really a loss are going to be Alonso, Conforto, Syndergaard, Carrasco, McNeil.
You don't think Pilar and Almora? Those are your outfield. You don't have
Pilar, and not for nothing, Dom Smith actually brings something to the table.
I'll say this: Dom Smith only plays though,
and JD
because
Davis.
They don't have enough good players.
And Taiwan Walker. Taiwan Walker's been.
I'm sorry, I missed Taiwan Walker. You're right, Taiwan Walker.
And JD Davis isn't the. I think he's a pretty decent.
I'll say this about Pilar. Pilar was good when he was on the Blue Jays. Hasn't been good since.
Yeah.
He's a great defender.
But
the Mets don't have a problem defending. They have a problem scoring runs.
But they have a problem defending right now. We don't have an outfield. Your entire outfield.
What do their games look like? Look at their scores. When you can't score 2 runs, your outfield's not the problem. Your outfield's
I know, but it's harder when you don't have your starters in there anyway.
No,
like last week, it's all been.
But when your pitching is strong, your defense doesn't matter because nobody's hitting the ball anyway. If you can't score 2 runs for your team, that's a problem. Because your pitcher could give up a home run. Your defense doesn't mean shit on that one.
It's embarrassing when one of your premier pitchers, your ace, has 2 ERA, and you can't win games.
It might be sub 2.
Yeah, it probably is. And I mean,
that guy's a 22 game winner on almost any other team in the MLB because every other team knows how to score more than 2 or 3 runs.
How's that expression go? It's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch.
Look at him. How many times is that guy going to win a Cy Young with a barely decent winning record? I know winning records don't speak to much of as far as his stats go, but I mean, it's still embarrassing. I'm sure that guy would trade one of those Cy Youngs for a World Series championship.
I'll tell you this right now.
100%.
That concept of winning records don't matter, that's what losers say. There is no pitcher that's sitting there going, listen, I don't care if I win the ERA is freaking.
As far as skill goes, it doesn't matter. But in the grand scheme of you have to win games to get to the championship, I'll take a 7 ERA in a World Series ring versus a Cy Young and losing when I'm pitching 7 shutout innings.
The same people saying that wins don't matter are the same ones saying that batting average doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you're saying that, but like we look at Jacob deGrom and he's the best pitcher in baseball and his winning record, like he doesn't have a winning record sometimes.
It's a waste, just like Mike Trout is the best player in baseball and he doesn't have a winning record either.
Yeah, but he still bats 300.
And the Angels are not even wasting 1 generational talent; they're wasting 2 right now. So
who's the other one?
They should be
Ohtani. You hate him, we don't care.
You hate him, we don't give a shit.
Anybody that can hit 15 home runs so far this season in 30-something games, okay, and has a 2-point-something ERA and pitches every 5th day, that's a talent.
Guess what? He'll be on the injured list for the rest of the season by July, and it'll be like he hit 15 home runs, and it'll be like, who fucking cares? Notice I didn't roll my eyes.
We'll get to that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think the Angels and the Mets both should be on I don't know, MLB's most wanted list for just wasting these great talents.
It's a sad list. Like
fucking Obi Tops.
Yeah, it's a sad list of just wasted talent. And then back to Lindor, it's just I don't know. I feel like the Mets. Anytime the Mets sign a big name and give them a ton of money, they just go downhill.
Every time.
I mean, it's not as bad. I mean, it's a rough struggle right now, but it's not as bad as like when Jason Bay was there.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But
we talked
still early.
We talked to Chris and I asked who's the Mets free agent signing that was any good. Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
And he said Carlos Beltran. But to me,
that's true.
But he said to me, Carlos Beltran's still the guy that struck out looking in the NLCS.
Yes. And also, Johan got them the no-hitter.
That wasn't a fake no-hitter.
That was a Chris doesn't recognize it, though.
Madison Bumgarner's no-hitter was more of a no-hitter than that. All right?
The 7-1, yeah.
We all saw that guy get a hit. As a matter of fact, Beltran got the hit, if I remember right.
Hey, Beltran was the one who got the hit, actually, yeah, which is really funny.
No, that wasn't a no-hitter, and they ruined Johan Santana. Ruined him.
Yeah, they ruined Johan after that.
Cy Young Award winner in the American League, where it's actually hard to pitch, and they ruined him.
Yeah. he had to die for the Mets sins, basically. Trying to get that no-hitter. What do you do, like 125, 130 pitches?
Listen, so did
That
David
no-hitter?
Cone. David Cone didn't die after it. And that was
That's
96 in the playoffs.
Right.
Playoffs?
Oh, well, you guys have anything else on the New York Mets besides bashing them?
No. What else would we have?
No, that's
You're
it.
still in first place.
Well,
So how
they
bad
are
is
in
the
first
NL
place.
East?
That was embarrassing as
NL
that.
East is
How bad is the NL East?
The NL East is bad. The
There's a
AL
lot of
East is
expectation, too, with the
incredible.
Braves.
Yep.
Marlins are a nice surprise, though.
Well, anytime the Marlins win, it's a nice surprise because no one expects it. So
Their owner's a douche, but yeah.
let's say that for another day. Speaking of the MLB, they had these new local market caps that came out. And Nick, you're gonna have to post a couple of these pictures. They are brutal. They look like I don't know. I feel like if I gave my daughter stickers to put on my hat, that's what would come out.
Oh yeah,
It's just random
kindergarten project.
shit. Yeah,
That's what happens when you go to a marketing team of college graduates today. They're like, "Oh, hey, let's make some stuff that looks nice and put it on a hat and then try to sell it to people." Like, oh, all right, hey, what says Chicago? Oh, deep dish pizza. Oh my god! Like, oh wow,
Put it
you're
on the
fucking
back.
clever. $200,000 of mommy and daddy's money down the tube. Oh, deep dish pizza. Yeah, wait up, pull that one.
My favorite
And
tweet
then-
was they put the area codes on the hat
Oh my god.
front.
yes.
And somebody tweeted, "What is that? All the locations where MLB TV gets blacked out."
That's amazing. And I think one of them, I think it was Kansas City. Kansas City. So they put the 4 whatever area codes, but they didn't put the area code for Kansas City, Missouri. They put everything outside of Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Like they put Kansas City, Kansas instead of Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
So like it missed one of the area codes on the hat, and then not even that. I think the Pittsburgh one's funny because it's just a steel beam next to the pin.
Wait, just to clarify for those that don't know, the Kansas City Royals, the Kansas City Chiefs, and anything other team Kansas City play in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, Kansas City, the city itself, is actually straddling the Kansas and Missouri line. But like the good side of Kansas City's in Missouri. The part, the Circus, if you've been to Vegas, the Circus side of Kansas City is Kansas. You don't go there, all right? The lights are out on that side of the city. You don't go there, all right? It's like Nassau, the Kansas City, Suffolk, okay? You don't go to Nassau.
There are worse places in Vegas than Circus.
No, I'm talking about the part of Vegas that Circus is on. Like there's like 3 blocks of darkness before you get to the Stratosphere and Circus.
Just
you don't go to that side of Vegas.
Walk 1 block away from the MGM Grand and you have the Hooters Casino Hotel.
I've been there. It's amazing.
It's horrible. Oh my god.
Yeah, Jesus. I was gonna say it's like geography by Nick over here, but that was like the president when Kansas City Chiefs won the World Series. Trump tweeted out, "Congrats to the state of Kansas."
It's not wrong, but definitely isn't right.
It's not wrong, but it's pretty bad. But what other favorites were there from the hat? I'm trying to think what other ugly ones like. Well, they put the apple in the statue limit on both the Mets and the Yankees one. And I think they put the same area codes for both of them.
It's just like if you're really from New York, you know what should be on that hat, like a hobo stabbing a fucking delivery man. All right, and the shuttered windows, and
there should have been a wife beater somewhere on that.
Yeah.
All right. In case somebody who's not from New York sees this, a wife beater is what we call an A shirt. Like if you bought a shirt that instead of the undershirt, it's actually called an A shirt. We call it a wife beater. If you're not from America or someplace, I'm not saying a man beating his wife. I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about an undershirt that's a tank top. It's called
but they're called a wife beater for a reason because I mean,
a wife beater or a guinea tee.
Wait, imagine this literally put a wife beater a guy in a guinea tee. Beating a wife like what?
Better than the Big Apple.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not laughing at it. I'm just laughing about how bad this campaign was. That I'm not surprised that wasn't on it. Like that's how bad.
Put the rat on there.
Another one too is who was it? I think for like Oakland A's, they put a palm tree on it. Like, do you think of Oakland? Do you think of palm trees?
It wasn't Oakland. It was Tampa Bay. I think it was Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa Bay has the palm tree. You're right.
Yeah.
They put a cowboy hat next to the.
I just want to point out they put a palm tree
Astros.
for Tampa Bay. You can't see a palm tree inside their stadium.
Yes, you cannot see anything from inside their stadium.
Exactly.
Who was another one? Oh, the Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City Royals had a saxophone in the front.
I didn't get that.
And I didn't get that either.
Is the Blues from Kansas City?
I hope the Blues is like, I don't know. It's like New Orleans. It's like
New Orleans,
St.
Detroit,
St. Louis.
Right? Because that's why the team's called the Blues, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe Missouri is known for the Blues.
Also, I guess it's a state. I guess it's a state flag on it. I don't know what the hell's. And there's just a pig on it for like the barbecue. But they just put a pig. You didn't put like barbecue ribs. Like
Cincinnati has a plate of chili on there. It's like, hey, here's a plate of diarrhea. That's what our fucking team is.
I just want ding ding. That's the second time TJ brought up diarrhea on this podcast. Yeah, Papa John's diarrhea in a box. That's what Adam Gase is. Diarrhea.
That's a fair assessment of Papa John's. You go eat Papa John's and then stay on this podcast and see how long you last.
He's just diarrhea in a box. He's Papa John's.
We'll do the Papa John's challenge. I'll eat a box of prunes. You eat a Papa John's pizza, and we see who runs for the toilet first.
You know what, though? Here's the thing about this. So social media, obviously, everyone's in this awful things about social media. It's horrible for the country.
Social media sucks.
No, social media does suck. But here, except for the fact that social media bullied MLB to pull these goddamn hats, and thank God they did, because these hats are horrendous. So every now and then, social media, you guys fuck
everybody
up,
on Twitter,
but you guys do the right thing.
For Twitter, shutting
Yeah, that was ugly. I wish we'd go more into it, but those are fucking brutal.
All I know is there's a whole bunch of poor kids in Darfur that are about to get those hats.
Oh yeah, and they'd be like, "This is so cool."
I wish they bring back the Japanese logo hats.
No one does that.
No, from the 90s. Like
I know, I remember that, but I don't want that.
I had one. I have a picture of myself at my sister's Sweet 16 wearing that hat, and it was fucking incredible.
Well, the funny thing, back to the kids in Darfur getting those hats.
And the Patriots 17-0 t-shirts. And
they're gonna be like, there's a deep dish pizza on the hat, but we're literally hungry. Like, can you just give us food instead of these?
Don't laugh about kids starving in Darfur. What's wrong with you?
We're laughing at the fact that at some point some kid is going to be on a Sally Struthers commercial. Can you give $4 a month to feed these children? And they're going to be wearing a fucking Cincinnati Reds chili dog hat.
Editor,
ain't no underwear.
Editor, put some flies buzzing around these guys and landing on their faces.
Oh, God. It's horrible, but it's true. Anyway, going on with MLB. Last week, you had Tony LaRussa, who was, I guess he said he was going to punish Yerman Mercedes, or as I like to call him, the Yerminator. He hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch from a position player. I think it was Willie Estudio. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And then and obviously everyone was unwritten rules and all this bullshit about that.
That's one of the worst, like, unwritten rules as far as, you're not supposed to swing 3-0. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You want to throw a meatball down the pipe and I'm not supposed to swing at it, even though I get paid based on my play and my statistics. Kiss my ass. Especially nowadays where, hey, if I hit 40 home runs this year, I get $1 million bonus at the end of my contract. Oh, no, but don't take that 55-mile-an-hour donut down the middle. No, don't swing at that, because Tony LaRussa, who's way past his fucking prime at this point, who the hell gives a shit what Tony LaRussa says anymore? The guy can't fucking work Twitter, okay? He wouldn't be able to fucking defend himself at all to the media, all right? Oh, no, and then you're going to turn around and act like, oh, yeah, I'm okay with them throwing at him?
Yeah,
way to
that
have
was
your
the next
team's
thing.
back. What's next? Like, oh, yeah, the Yerminator got stabbed in the subway the other day because he was in New York City. But I'm okay with it because he swung 3-0.
Another thing, too, is that he also said, like, he just was fighting with his own team about this issue. Like, he's just backing Steve up. Lance Lynn said to him, like, unwritten rules should just go away. And then LaRussa responded to it saying that, well, he has a locker and I have an office. So, like, I guess you're better than him because you have an officer or a manager. You should say these unwritten rules.
The difference is when his team decides to quit on him, he'll be shown the door.
And they're like one of the best teams in baseball right now. Well, I mean, the Yankees just swept them, but I mean, what are you doing? And another thing too is like you're embarrassing them by putting 3-0. They're embarrassing themselves by losing a game 15-3 and putting a position player out there.
Yep.
Like put in a real pitcher. Then you don't want me to swing 3-0 on a position player. Then don't put him out there. Then don't give me the opportunity.
Listen, there are some unwritten rules that I'm like, all right, makes sense. Stealing bases when you're up 10 by 10 runs in the 8th inning, you're a dickhead. Yeah. You're being an asshole at that point. But playing the game, basically, you're sitting there saying, "Don't play the game at all. Just sit there and let the guy strike me out." Is that what Tony LaRussa wants? Is that what he wants? Because if that was the case, then he should have pulled all his starters and started putting pitchers in to play the positions to make it fair. I guess I don't know. What does he want there? Does he want him to walk?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, but you're not going to get a big, and like TJ said, you're not going to get a bigger contract for walking there. At the end of the year, when you have 20 home runs instead of 19, that it looks that much better.
Yeah, guess what? Not one fan in that stadium was pissed off that he hit a home run.
Well, I think it was in the road. So
but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I guarantee
you're not paying to watch somebody walk.
Yeah,
you want a little excitement.
I guarantee the home fans didn't care either.
They probably didn't.
They left already.
Yeah,
they left.
It's pathetic, dude.
And I guarantee you, Estudia didn't give a shit either.
He probably didn't.
But I mean, what are we going to go by? Let's go by the critique of baseball and all these pros and stuff. How many pro pitchers, top level pitchers used to get pissed off at people that bunted on them, and that would be something that's thrown in the media. Oh, so and so bunted, and
CC used to get mad about it.
What?
CC used to get mad about it.
Right.
Well, CC got mad about
it a bunch of times.
I don't give a shit. I don't.
No.
I love CC Sabathia to death.
Why?
You're too injured to field a bunt. Don't fucking play anymore.
Yeah.
That was why. But that was the reason why he was upset about it. But I do get that. Like, then just play it. Like, whatever. It's a bunt.
Don't play.
Put it in your pocket.
Then don't play at all. If you're gonna get mad about that, I'll do that every at bat. Don't play anymore. That's it. It would be like you getting mad. I don't know. I can't even think of a good reason.
I got one. How about getting mad when you shift the guy off of third base, playing him behind second, and then the guy hits it down the third base line, and then you're pissed off at him? You're not supposed to hit it then. It's bullshit.
It's like you going into the courtroom, Rook, and let's say you stuttered or had a stammer, and they were like, you have to give your opening statement, and you're like, that's not fair. What? Maybe this isn't the job for you anymore, son.
Yeah, maybe.
Imagine I went to work one day and I was like, that's not fair. The enemy's shooting at me. I wasn't ready for it. Hold on.
Yeah, I call timeout.
I mean, there are a lot of this unwritten rule bullshit. Remember that one time Dallas Brady was mad about A-Rod running across his mound? Have anyone ever been – Who? Yeah, who? Exactly. Everyone – it's just stupid. Anyway, I hate the unwritten rules. I don't want to keep going on and on about it, but I think we covered that enough there. But
Tony LaRussa. Go sit down in your favorite armchair in your basement somewhere.
In his office.
In his office, yeah.
Go in his office.
But again,
all go to locker rooms.
There are certain things I'm okay with. Like rubbing your opponent's nose in your success, I'm not okay with. But playing the game, if it was 3-2, does he expect him to strike out for the sake of this other team's, I don't know, feelings? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Well, on to other news in baseball is obviously the 2 no-hitters last week, a day apart with Kluber and Turnbull. And that's another one. Unwritten rules have a thing where people are like, well, why did they lay a bunt down and then topple in the ninth against
That's
Kluber?
a dickhead. No.
Like, that's a dickhead move.
Yeah.
That's different. That's a little different than that because it's like, that's history he's chasing. You're going to just get to go right on bunt. But I know that's
one of those unwritten rules I'm in full support of. Like, if you try to lay one down and you're getting no hit, you're a bitch. That's not a baseball rule. That's a man rule. You're a bitch.
I agree. That's not really an unwritten rule. That's like have a little self-respect.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can't beat him straight up, don't try to fucking
come on. The system there. But the funny thing about Spencer Turnbull was the graphic from ESPN. That was like 2 years ago. He lost 17 games.
Shots fired. It's
like, dude, he just had a historical night for this guy. It's his biggest night of his life. And ESPN's interviewing him. They just put 17 losses in 20. Don't remember. This guy's a fraud.
Don't get too full of yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Mean spirit.
Everybody just sucks at hitting. You're not good at pitching.
Yeah, and then another fun thing about Kluber's no-hitter was that obviously he did against Texas Rangers where he played last year. Well, he didn't play. He was there for like a day. It was actually his bobblehead day at Texas Ranger, because obviously they didn't do anything in 2020, so they moved them all to 2021, and they were giving out his bobblehead, and he gave him a no-hitter. That's a goddamn collector's item. That's the coolest part. Yeah, that's
and
like
Michael K trying to jinx.
I was about to say, douche of the week, Michael K. How many times does that guy want to say no hitter, no hitter, no hitter?
No, what bothered me was
you guys throw up the graphic every fucking 2 seconds with the big 0 underneath the H. That means no one's gotten a hit yet. You don't have to keep saying it, asshole.
You know what?
I will stop you right here.
Knicks win.
Knicks just won.
Knicks win.
A playoff game for the first
time.
Did
I win my bet?
You did win your bet. They won by 9, so you won.
There you go.
Trae Young just spit on the floor and laughed because he's a little bitch.
Did he really? I was looking at you. I didn't look at him.
Another thing too, I guess, about this, now we're going back to the Knicks, is I reverse mushed them. So I was like tweeted out that I was very angry that they suck. And then here we go. They came back, won this game by 9. So I'm going to keep doing that. I did mush you. I'm going to do reverse mush to the Knicks at every halftime if they're losing.
Yeah, just keep fading TJ, though. Just keep fading TJ.
Just keep fading. Keep fading Rook. I am horrible. I don't even look at I don't even want to look at what I bet today. Here's the annoying thing, too, about the picks, is that now we're going by ones. And I bet 3 things yesterday. I went 2-1. Oh, and the Wizards got blown out. So I lost again. I don't know. Maybe I'll just post my picks separately, because those are much better than the one pick that I always pick. But I actually didn't bet anything today except for that one, but that was obviously a loser. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I can't pick a good game anymore. It's really bad. It's becoming like I don't know. I'm becoming the mush is what it's becoming.
I don't know if you're like becoming. I wouldn't say becoming.
I just am. I am the mush. I don't know. My bank account looks pretty good though, so I'm happy. Just that one. It's the one pick. I'm telling you, the one pick that I submit for the podcast is just always wrong. So just fade me completely the rest of the way.
Threw the crown up for the Knicks.
Yeah, that was a good. I mean, it was a good win. Good team victory. Good comeback too. Like I said, they were down 15 in the second half, and now they come back. And here we go. My brother just tweeted me, "Old takes exposed." Guy, come on! It's a reverse mush. Everyone knows this. I do this all the time.
reverse. Kings in New York.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's the king. You said you would throw it up. I thought you were gonna put. I mean, I'm sorry that the editor was gonna throw up a king later, but yeah, Kings New York, and now the city of New York has 3 playoff wins. Let's go. Even though fuck the Nets.
Go back to
Jersey.
No, what were we talking about?
We were in the middle of the talking about like the no hitters and shit.
Oh shit. So fucking Michael K. He goes, what really bothered me about Michael K. was Vin Scully told me it was okay. Listen,
yes,
it reminds me of the scene in Family Guy when Peter Griffin starts beating the shit out of Jimmy Fallon, and he's like, and this is for every time you looked at the camera and every skit you were ever in. What do you think? Because Carol Burnett did it, it's okay for you? You haven't earned what she's earned. That's how I feel about Michael K. saying that Vin Scully said it was okay. You haven't. The next thing you know, he'll be sitting there saying he's on the same level as Mel Allen or Bob Shepard. Bob Shepard said like 4 words at a time. He's on a higher echelon than Michael K. or John Sterling ever will be. All right. Okay. And same thing with Mel Allen. All right. When these 2 cocksuckers get their own show or somebody's quoting them on This Week in Baseball, then they can start sitting there comparing themselves to Vin Scully and Mel Allen. Until then, shut the fuck up. Okay.
I agree.
I hate when he kept saying the no-hitter. And then he posted an really awkward video of him. Because obviously with COVID, he's not allowed to travel. So he's like he's watching the thing on his monitor. He's in the stadium. It's all dark. And he's like sitting there and he's like, and here it is. Whatever, just the call.
Torres throws the first. A no-hitter.
But like he has his hand like pumping and he's like writing down his notes. And it's just super awkward. And then he tweeted out, here's that jinx for you. So I guess everyone like TJ, who was
look, he did his best. He just wasn't. He wasn't in the stadium. That's why it didn't stick.
That's why it didn't work. He wasn't there. He actually wasn't there. Yeah.
It's just the fact that why do you want to be that guy that everybody blames if Kluber would have blew it?
Yeah.
Like why do you want to be that guy? Why do you want to like? It's like a tradition though too. Like you just don't say it. You know, you don't count your money at the poker table. Okay, it's simple stuff. Just why do you have to be the guy to go against tradition? Why do you have to be the guy to be like, oh, it's okay? No, it's not. Everybody hates you right now. And if you would have blew it, there would have been somebody burning your fucking front lawn down with a big FU sign.
You just you.
There's a good chance.
Well, moving on from baseball, I think we covered the week pretty well. But moving on to the PGA Championship.
Yes.
And the long shot, plus 20,000 pre-tournament. Phil Mickelson wins the PGA Championship, becoming the oldest to ever win a major.
That was special. That was special.
It was
what he did.
I could not believe it. 50.
He's the oldest. Don't people play golf at 50? They start,
but they don't win a major championship.
Yeah, they don't win major championships.
Michael Jordan needs to step his fucking game up.
Michael Jordan should come back and win a championship, NBA championship. He probably could.
Listen, Phil Mickelson put on a show. A show.
He did.
That golf course was ridiculous.
The wind.
Oh my God.
That course is insane. Yeah.
We could play it, guys. Just saying. We bring the cameras down there, do a little Scoreboard Addicts podcast live from Kiwa Island, Ocean Course. It's only $575 a round for each of us.
We got to start monetizing this podcast to get pay for that. $1,500 for the three of us to go play golf.
Talk to my accountant about that shit.
Yeah. Another thing too, I think it was his after he had an interview with what's his name, Brandel Champlain. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right? And he was like,
close enough.
Who? I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
Brandel Champlain. Is that a Shimbla? Whatever his name is. Okay. He's kind of a dick to Brooks Koepka all the time. But so basically he asked him like, how did you do that or whatever? Phil just wrote back, well, he's like, to play here, you got to hit bombs. Well, Brandel, I hit bombs. And it was just like,
dude,
classic Phil. Did you awesome see what was line.
It? The 16th hole, he drove one like 10, 15 yards past Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
50 years old, dropping bombs.
Brooks Koepka. It was impressive. And honestly, I did not believe he had it in him to come back and like win a major. I honestly was about to put a live bet in on like Brooks or like Oosthuizen, whatever. And I obviously didn't. Luckily, I saved my money.
I was going to because the morning of that Sunday morning, Phil was plus 500 to win. I was like, the guy's in the lead by 3-4 strokes right now, and you're going to give me 5-1 odds?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, it was like really good odds and everything too. And I was like, I didn't know what to do with that. I was like, I feel like maybe Phil would collapse, but then like obviously it was Brooks that collapsed. He obviously didn't play that well.
Everybody collapsed, not for nothing. It was just who didn't fuck up worse.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, he was what was he, 10 under at the start of that? Or no, he was at 7 under.
9. No, he got down. No, you're right. It was 7. Then he's worked his way down to 10 under for a hole, and went back down to 9.
Yeah, and then I think he won. Was he
even for the day?
Yeah, I think he was 8 under or something like that, 7 under, whatever it was.
Yeah, -1 for the day. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I did not think he had it in him. I kept saying, I text my brother too because. I was like, I don't think Phil's gonna win this,
but not for nothing. I mean, when you're talking about a major, there's only 4 majors in golf, and that's what we want to see as golf fans. I don't want to see -19, -20. I want to see that. I want to see somebody struggle on a course that's obviously way harder than anything I could score on or play on.
Yeah.
But I want to see somebody sit there knowing they're at the top pinnacle of their sport, and they're like mother effing everybody under their breath. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You know who I am? I'm Phil Mickelson.
And it was fun because who was Cameron Tringali, if I'm saying his name right. A lot of these names I can't pronounce, but he was at one point he was like 3 under, like tied for like second, and then he just collapsed on like the 15th or 16th hole, and next thing you know he was plus 10, or 10 over.
Yeah,
to say the correct way, but oh my god, yeah, it's
golf.
I think
man.
It's fun. Yeah, it is golf, and it's for
golf, Susan.
As you get blown up.
So I mean, I like that. That's why I like the PGA Championship, how they set it up this year at Kiwa Island. I mean, notoriously, the U.S. Open is usually the hardest. You know, they really try to go all out and keep the scoring down the U.S. Open. But that's what we like to see. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody likes to see hole ones. Everybody likes to see albatross, eagles. But when the course itself is the enemy and you're trying to battle the course, battle the elements, battle the wind, 30-mile-an-hour gusts, it's just it separates the people that can do it versus, I can shoot 19 under, but you put me against something that's like, 530 yards, raised green, a sliver of fairway to hit, water down the right side and sand to the left. I'm going to fold under pressure.
Did you guys see, speaking of athletes playing golf, did you see Danny Woodhead tried out for an invitational out in, I want to say it was in Washington, and he missed it by like 6 strokes to get on the PGA Tour?
It probably wasn't the PGA Tour. It was probably
it was probably what was that? Kerøsene, whatever.
Corn Ferry or
Corn Ferry.
Yeah,
hold on.
Because they got away from the Q school stuff too. So
what's the new court? The new PGA, like it's not the PGA Tour, it's a new golf.
Oh, they were trying to do that Champions, like almost like Champions League type of thing, where
something like that.
Yeah, Super League. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. But I was gonna say, but speaking of this, so obviously we all did the picks beforehand on Thursday on Twitter. We went live. I mean, on Wednesday last Wednesday. Good thing we didn't do a bet on that, like having to do ice or anything, because I don't think any of ours hit it besides my Finau top 10, top 20 bet.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, Brooks showed me up. I said I was interested. Well, I didn't say definitely do it, but just interested to look at him missing the cut. And then one of the things I mentioned was that Dustin Johnson did miss the cut, and you said you didn't think he would. You think he would still make the cut. Right. But Dustin Johnson missed the cut, and that was a good payout. That was a plus 230 or something like that. So that was something we probably could have put money on. But yeah, I don't think any of the guys we even said came close. Like Cameron Champ didn't even make the cut.
No, I think the closest that Bryson was -2 or 3.
Yeah, so Bryson was the other one. So he was up there, and then was the Finau. He actually finished technically tied for 8 in it. So he made the top 10, top 20, and then Halpin was up there early on in the first 2 days, but then he kind of fell off. So yeah, picks were not good. But I mean, that's the course though. Those are guys that probably people would be looking at and be like, these are top tier guys that could be in the top 10 or even win the tournament, and they just. I mean,
look at it. Who were they talking about? You didn't see Rory at all on that leaderboard.
Yeah,
you don't see Spieth and Thomas fell off quick.
Yeah, who did we say the favorites were? It was Thomas. It was Spieth. John Rahm. John Rahm was another one. Rory was number 1. John Rahm was number 2 or 3, and they were known in the leaderboard. So it was a fun watch. Obviously, seeing Phil win is always fun. He's a funny guy with the. Remember when he kicked over who was that? Zach Johnson's head. Kicked the can off his head in like the USA pants after one of like the what was it, like the Euro Ryder Cup or something. That was fun.
He's in Tin Cup.
Is he in Tin Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I remember that. That's fun.
Like very quickly, he's like, he's like, you heard of this Roy? Is his name Roy McIlroy, isn't it?
Roy McAvoy.
McAvoy. He's like, have you heard about?
He's also when Tin Cup is carrying the bag for what's his name. They're playing against they're playing against Phil Mickelson and
they put money down.
Yes.
They bet to see if Tin Cup can hit
carry the water with a 3-wood.
Yeah, with a 3,
240.
I was thinking about getting a new 5 hybrid sim.
Why 5?
Because I'm good with a 5, baby.
That's a good reason.
I'm good with a 5. I can't hit with a fucking driver, but I can crush with a fucking 5 hybrid. All right.
Listen. All right. Well, go ahead.
You know what? If we're talking about golf, all right. Rook was throwing a lot of shade. We went golfing this past weekend. Okay, throwing a lot of shade at me because I got beat by my brother and my sister's boyfriend.
You're just too easy to buzz balls with because it's like
true.
The same with the betting.
It's so seriously.
That's true.
My betting was terrible, but I immediately I said fade TJ. TJ like wanted to fight me. So like it's just so great.
Oh no, never. I just love
it. It's so easy.
Oh, it is. But you know what else is easy?
How many clubs did you break when you were down in there?
Zero.
He didn't break any, but there were at least 2 or 3.
That was one club throw. It was one club throw.
No.
I was like, here comes
down at NC.
Oh,
North Carolina, I broke 2 clubs.
No, they failed.
I was testing their durability.
They failed the tension test.
Yes.
But
I will say this. Okay, and Rook better back me up on this. Okay, 302-yard par 4. Somebody drove the green.
He did.
Was it Rook?
And then he had a horrible little chip shot.
And I only parted.
Little bitch, and he parted.
I parted. I played my last 3 strokes within 10 feet.
Moving on from golf. Well, this is still golf related, and this is your boy. So me and TJ are gonna fight again on this one. But Brooks Koepka, Hayden, Bryson, DeChambeau. That awesome video of him just rolling his eyes, seeing him coming, just
like a femme.
Like femme. He walks by with his
men don't roll their eyes.
Click,
sure,
click,
men,
clap.
Listen, I'm gonna be with T on this one. Listen, I'm with this guy right here. All right. Men don't roll their eyes. You see a dude you don't like, he walks behind you, you look at the person, you make eye contact, you look at the right? Like you don't roll your eyes, okay?
It's just
like you roll your eyes and you make that.
He didn't throw his hands out. He was kind of just like, oh, I gotta deal with this motherfucker.
But you know what? Bryson with the Instagram post rent free in Brooks's head, and he is because he messed him up on his interview, but just by walking by, messed his whole fucking interview up. Oh, I lost my train of thought. He's got to man up and stop being. Listen, I get it. Bryson DeChambeau is kind of a lot to handle on the tour. He takes forever to fucking hit the ball. Okay, he slows rounds down. I get it. Yeah, he is a golf nerd. That's great. The guy in the gym will outlift the 3 of us put together. I'll tell you that much.
No, that's true. That's not true because I can't lose if I don't lift.
Okay.
I can out-trick him though.
All right. And what happened? I've never seen Brooks Koepka drive a 530-yard par 5 over water. Just saying. Okay, Bryson is great for the game. The guy drives the shit out of the ball. They hate him so much. The golf, we got to lengthen up the courses. It's like the Tiger shade. When Tiger came on tour and was winning everything, they started making the courses longer because they had to Tiger-proof it. Okay, and then Bryson comes out and does it. And then, what was it? The U.S. Open he won last year. Oh, no, you can't just drive the ball everywhere because the fairways are too tight. The rough is hard. The rough is so bad it eats your ball up. The guy was chipping from 30 yards away onto every green. Through the rough, no problem, okay? Everybody likes to hate on Bryson. I hate his fucking hat. I'll give you that, but it's better than the visor. He's not wearing a visor, so I'm okay with it. I can deal with it.
Brooks doesn't wear a visor at all.
No, I'm just saying. Men should not wear visors on the golf course.
I don't like the Watson. I don't like the visor either. Visor's a little it's very southern.
Terrible.
I feel like a lot of southern people love visors.
Tin Cup wore the visor.
I hate visors.
I don't like visors either. But here's my rebuttal on Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka's just a fucking bro. Like he's just like I'd love to have like a couple drinks with him.
That visor definitely is a very bro. I watched that bro rape video, and the guy was wearing a visor as he pulled out the GameCube with the big black dildo. So yes, he is in fact a bro. Yeah.
No, he is though. Like he's like down to earth. He's chill about it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm good at golf. Who gives a fuck? Like it's just like attitude's like I don't know. I like that.
But it's
dickish. Then he should have a drive like Bryson does,
bro. Bryson DeChambeau will talk to anybody with a smile on his face. He's fucking a fun guy. He seems like
Brooks wouldn't do that though.
Brooks is fucking Shooter McGavin. They're like, Bryson DeChambeau just drove that ball 500 meters. What do you think about that? Oh, yeah. What did he finish? Dead last. I was too busy winning. That's Brooks right there.
Yeah, but like Brooks is like Dustin Johnson. Like, oh, yeah, I don't know what putter I'm going to use this weekend. It'll be tailor-made, though. It's like, dude, answer the fucking questions. You get paid a shit ton of money because people want to see you golf. Like, just be courteous and kind and answer the fucking questions.
But I do like when there was the one interview he was on Part of My Take, and he was like, they asked him like playing a tournament or whatever, and he's like, usually like I kind of like doze off between holes 9 to like 15 because he's like it's just so long. He's like if they made a 9-hole, he's like I win every tournament because he's like it's just too long for me to like keep my attention span.
You guys have played rounds of golf with me multiple times. At halftime, I'm mailing it in. At that point, I'm picking up my ball and I'm playing speed golf. I'm throwing that bad boy down range, and I'm just gonna.
So you would enjoy Brooks Koepka because he said he doesn't want to play 18 holes either. So
did Brooks Koepka roll his eyes?
I'll do it as a joke. I'll do it like and take it.
Did he roll
Like,
his
I'll do
eyes?
it, and you'll be like, dude, that's 4 strokes, and I'll be like, fine. He'll do it, and then argue about why it's not 4 strokes.
Okay, I never seen Nick roll his eyes. Oh, I can't deal with this guy walking past me. Oh,
It was just like, I don't want to like share the same air as this motherfucker. He's so annoying.
then fight
punch him in the
Then
face.
fight him.
That's
You're a
it.
man.
Just fight him.
You
Yeah,
go
why
to
not?
him and you break a beer bottle over a bar, and you go, "Let's go. We're gonna get some right now."
Be happy.
Yeah. All I know is Brooks Koepka is now playing with Aaron Rodgers coming up July 6th.
That's
against
true. He's
Philly.
not.
Philly
Did you
mix.
see what Tom Brady posted?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Tom Brady posted, I got a golf match coming up, 2 champions versus the host of Jeopardy and a scientist.
Yes. It's so great.
Fuck Tom Brady.
And then he also put the meme of Brooks Koepka rolling his eyes and Bryson in the back, and it says Aaron Rodgers on Brooks Koepka's face, and then it says in the back the Packers kicking a field goal down 7. I was like, that's incredible. That is great. That is respect to Tom Brady for that one. I'm gonna have to cheer for Phil and Brady on that one. I know you guys probably won't cheer for Brady on that one.
Bryson all the way.
Do you know what the thing
Even
is?
though I don't like Aaron Rodgers, he's a little fucking
Do
bitch
you
too.
know what the thing is
Yeah.
with and you could argue with me about this if you want. Tom Brady now versus Tom Brady 3 or 4 years ago. I think Tom Brady realizes that the whole world hates him, and he's doing his very best to be appealing through social media, because there were question marks about his character based on getting caught cheating a few times and, overall just being a cocksucker. So now, like, he created a Twitter and he tells jokes and he showed up in TED and stuff like that, because up until that point, he was just an arrogant prick. And that he was like, it's one of those things. It's like almost like when billionaires, when they get toward the end of their life, they start giving away money because they're afraid they're going to go to hell. Same thing with Tom Brady, where like now he's at the end of his career and he's like, I got to be a nice guy or else I'm going to be that guy that everybody hated unless they were from New England. Like, so now he's trying to appeal to people outside of, New England,
Yeah.
listen, Jordan killed the Knicks every year, but I never hated Jordan because he played hard and he was good.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a dick about it,
Listen,
Tom Brady's
all right.
a dick. Fuck Tom
no.
Brady.
Tom Brady getting
Hot take.
carried off a boat after the championship celebration because he was hammered on tequila.
Tom Brady broke up with his pregnant girlfriend. Fuck Tom Brady. He's not even a real man.
That made me actually like Tom Brady when I saw him come off the boat. I'm like, man, Tom Brady's just like me. That's like Nick carrying me drunk out of Vegas.
Minus, being on a boat because we don't have the monetary flow to do that.
Yes.
Staten Island Ferry's right there, guy.
I
walked off that boat very, very drunk many a time.
I've crushed Foster's foil cans on that ferry multiple times.
Yeah. And
They're only about 3.5 years old, those Foster's foil cans, but
it wouldn't be coming off a bus, but it would definitely be from that Vegas pool party for Matt's bachelor party. Shout out, Matt. Right? We were all
alcohol. Shout out to Matt.
We all
I
had.
don't even remember one of those days.
I don't think Nick was
24 hours.
wasn't even able to.
Rich and I passed out for about 2 days.
Yeah, I don't think Nick was even
Rich.
carrying me off because Nick needed to be watched too, because that was
Shout out
shout out Rich. Yeah, I mean that was fun, and that's I don't know. I think that was like when I related to Tom Brady. It only took 15, 20 years, whatever it was in the league, to finally appreciate Tom Brady. But it is what it is. Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones both have unhappy situations where we have Aaron Rodgers, who's not turned up for OTAs yet. Obviously optional, but typically I think your quarterback, you'd want him in camp so far. And Julio Jones, who goes on, which show is that again? With Shannon Sharp and what's that called? That talk show.
Shit. With
I
Shannon
don't know what
Sharp
it's
and
called.
Skip Bayless.
Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharp basically calls him on a speakerphone, not prepared. I don't think he knew he was on live TV, but he basically was like, "Hey, how you doing in Atlanta?" And he's like, "I'm out of there, man. I'm gone. Like, I'm out of there." And then they're asking him like, "Oh, well, you gonna go play with Dallas?" Because Skip's a big Dallas guy, and he's like, "No, man, I want to win." Like,
Skip Bayless is another idiot.
And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm not gonna go to Dallas." He's like, "I want to win. I just left Atlanta because I'm not winning. I'm not gonna go to Dallas."
No, but let's get this clear. All right. Julio Jones is not leaving Atlanta. All right. Let's clarify this. He could try to make it seem like he's leaving. They're getting rid of him. There's a difference. Like when Julio Jones gets traded from Atlanta to another team, mind you, he has no trade clause. So I hope he does get traded to Dallas because he's an asshole for saying stupid shit like that. You
Yeah,
don't have no trade clause. They throw in the best deal for you. You're going, guy.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're not Deshaun Watson. You don't get to choose. This isn't Burger King. You ain't having it your way. All right.
I would probably take a shittier trade just to send his ass to Dallas.
Yep.
Just
so
because
that the fans could boo him the whole fucking for fucking talking shit. All right.
Yeah.
But the point being is that they're getting rid of him because he's soaking up so much of their salary cap. They cannot get better. All right. And again, this is like what we talked about with McDavid and in his contract is how much do you sacrifice for one player? It's the A-Rod situation on Texas, right? Where you can't afford to have it's Mike Trout on Los Angeles right now, where you can't afford to have 10 good players because one good player is taking up enough salary for 10 good players. All right. So he could sit there and say, I'm not going. You're going. You're going to go where they send you because you're an idiot and you don't have a no trade clause. Okay. It's a little different for me with Aaron Rodgers than Julio Jones. Simply because Aaron Rodgers is forcing the hand of his team. Julio Jones is right now at this point, he's reactionary, where there's been talk and chatter that he's going to get traded, and now his feelings are hurt. He's trying to save face by saying, oh, I'm leaving. You're not leaving. They're getting rid of you. It's the she didn't break up with me. I broke up with her. She broke up with you, guy. Like,
do you think he'll pull an AB, though, if he got traded to a team he didn't like? And just be like, just fuck around for the entire spring training and then I'm sorry, I keep calling it spring training, but preseason, and then be like, basically just cut me then if you guys don't want me, and then sign with like the Patriots.
It depends on how much that contract's guaranteed. He's owed $15 million this year.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, against your cap. So who's going to do that?
No, you're right about that. I guess, yeah, you don't want to fuck around either. Having that money come off, that's terrible. That would suck. But I don't know. I'm trying to think what's a good landing spot for Julio Jones? I mean, obviously, what we would do is you would have to put this disgruntled quarterback with this disgruntled wide receiver and send them to Green Bay. So we're playing matchmaker over here now.
So listen, honestly, as a Jet fan, it wouldn't be too bad to land him in the Jets. Give Wilson somebody to throw at. We have the cap space.
I don't disagree with you. I do disagree with what I've been hearing about Atlanta's request for him. They want a first-round pick. He's 32.
Right.
So thank you.
They're not going to get it. They're not getting it.
I'll give you a second-round pick, a late second-round pick, and Jamison Crowder.
Who's going to get it, though? Who's going to give them a first-round pick?
I don't know. The fact that they asked though, like they're like, oh, we want a late first-round pick. But let's talk about the difference between Rodgers and I would say that Rodgers' case, he comes off as the asshole.
Yeah, I think
he's an asshole.
I think Julio Jones, has more disgruntled purposes than I think Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers, if you think about it, he still has his Devontae Adams, he has Aaron Jones, he has, I think, is Jimmy Graham there? Who's the tight end? The tight end's pretty decent. Their O-line's really good.
Yeah, they have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Who is going to want a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers on their team? Legitimately, who really wants a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers on their team to get pissed off that they're not winning when they didn't go to the Super Bowl because fucking Aaron Rodgers wasn't his team?
So I'm not looking at it like who wants him. Anybody with the right mind in the NFL, barring somebody that has somebody who's better than Aaron Rodgers, it's argumentary. But
you want Aaron Rodgers for the stats, but if he's disgruntled, where is he going that's better than Green Bay now?
No. But what I'm saying is that their situations are very different. Even though Julio Jones is coming out going, I want to go here, I want to go there. He doesn't want to go anywhere, truthfully, because this conversation is not being brought about because of Julio Jones. This conversation is being brought about because Atlanta is shopping Julio Jones.
I still think Julio Jones can go to another team and do something and be happy there. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, he's miserable on the Green Bay Packers, who's a stacked team. Where is he going that's going to be just as stacked?
And they improved their defense. They improved their defense too this year. It's like, what else does he want from them? Like, what is he upset about?
He wants to just host Jeopardy and be like a fucking weirdo. I don't know.
He's on his Hawaiian vacation now with Shailene Woodley, his fiance. And it's like, dude, what are you complaining about? Your life is like great.
I still like Olivia Munn.
I like Olivia Munn better, but let's just say for argument's sake here, his family doesn't want anything to do with him. He doesn't worry about in-laws coming to ask for money. He doesn't worry about anything, right? No family and no shitty younger brother doing The Bachelor and shit like that, asking him for money.
Was his younger brother on The Bachelor?
Yeah, he was.
Why do you know that?
My wife.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm trying to say, like, listen, his family hates him or whatever. He doesn't have to deal with them. He's got dating these Hollywood Scarlets, whatever you want to call them. Scarlets? No, Starlets.
Starlets.
I'm turning to TJ, talking to him too much.
Yo, you keep fucking doing this shit to me. It's gonna come back to you, bro. I'm just telling you.
He's got a great team. He's the Green Bay Packers historical franchise. He's got a good coach. He's got awesome offensive line, I was saying before. He's got Devonta Adams. He's got Aaron Jones. What the fuck else does this guy want? Like, does anyone know? He's hosting Jeopardy.
So isn't Jones a free agent?
He wants to be handed a Super Bowl.
I think Jones is there again. I think he might be still there.
He wants to be handed a fucking Super Bowl.
Basically. I mean, that's there's no words I could think of.
The man made the playoffs and he's crying. Right now, as a Jets fan, I feel like that little kid from the Knicks that just wanted to make the playoffs. And that's how I feel right now as a Jets fan.
Cody.
I feel like cheers to Cody. We made the playoffs. Cody. We won a game.
We won one game, Cody. Cheers.
But
no, March 17th they signed a 4-year, $48 million deal with Aaron Jones.
Wow, it's ballsy. Stupid, but ballsy.
Yeah. So basically, essentially a 2-year deal for $20 million. So
okay, that's more.
Who's taking how much longer does Rodgers have on his contract?
He's through 2023. So you have 3 more seasons of Aaron Rodgers. Right now, I think this year is 38.
Through the 23 season or through the 23 year?
Well, the season, 23 season.
Okay, all right.
So you got 2021, 2022, so 3 years. And then this year's 38 million. And then 17 the next, and then
who's taking a flyer on him for that kind of money? No team has won.
Las Vegas. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Las fucking Vegas.
But this guy he's upset with Green Bay.
Denver.
What is he?
I didn't realize Minnesota took a lead on this game. It's 1-0 Minnesota.
You're talking about who will take. You're saying who will take that. I'm letting you know right now. Denver, Las Vegas, off the rip, right away, right now. No, I was gonna say San Fran, but they just drafted a quarterback.
Yeah, well, that was one of the spots he wanted to go. They were hoping that Green Bay Packers would trade that number 3 pick for Aaron Rodgers, and they didn't.
I'm trying to think who else is quarterback hungry. Fucking the Patriots.
They also want a receiver too, so Julio Jones came up there.
Listen, the quarterback, the Patriots conceivably could be a quarterback away from fucking winning the Super Bowl. They have a top 5 defense.
Yeah, I mean the Patriots.
And they have a great. They have. I'm sorry, Sony Michel's a good running back. Fuck that kid, but he's a good running back.
Yeah, and they could. So the Patriots are a good spot for both Julio Jones and Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers are a good spot for both Julio Jones and Aaron Rodgers. So just have them get into a relationship together.
Wait, no, the Colts just got Wentz. Well, fuck Wentz, right? We've been talking about that for weeks.
I honestly think that at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is going to regret fucking himself out of being the quarterback on his own team.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get traded. I think he's going to be at the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, or he's not going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
Sayonara. I don't feel bad for people that fucking can't handle losing because you lost.
Well, I don't feel bad for people making millions of dollars for playing a child's game.
He's upset because of what happened with the field goal. They went for a field goal instead of going for 7 when they were 4th down there. I don't blame him for that. You want to put the ball in your best player's hand.
That's fine, but to absolutely decimate your team and be like, I don't want to fucking be here anymore, like, grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think he's just being
I think T and I both agree there's no one player better than the entire team.
No, there isn't.
At the end of the day, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Ranger fan. I'm a Jets fan. I am not a fan of the player that plays for. As soon as you leave my team and you're coming back against us, fuck you. I hope you fucking break your leg in the middle of the field.
I agree, but I'm saying like when there's a crunch time, there's guys that you would rely on or guys you want in a big spot. And at that point, do
I
you
don't
want to see a kicker when you're down 7, or do you want to see your quarterback?
No, I understand what you're saying, but you also got to take into consideration a leader looks at himself and goes, what touchdown could I have thrown in the first quarter?
Oh, yeah.
That didn't lead to the field goal in the fourth quarter. That's what a leader did.
I get that, but they also lost when they gave up that Scotty Miller touchdown right before the half. Like, that was pretty brutal. So I don't really blame him for that.
But again, I'm just saying is a leader looks at what they could have done differently to affect the game positively.
Yeah, I get
not
it.
What other players on the team did negatively that they could do nothing about. That's what leaders do. Leaders lead by example. Like you don't just sit there and you pick away at the other players on your team. You sit there and go, it's not your fault. I could have done more. Because you could always do more. Always. I've never walked into a situation at my job where I looked at my subordinate and I was just like, you failed. No, I take about 50% of their failure on my shoulders because I'm their leader. I could have done something differently to positively affect what they had going on that day.
Yeah, you could have taken them to a massage parlor.
But Aaron Rodgers and his, are you wearing a freaking Players jersey?
What? Yeah.
That thing is fucking hideous, dude. I can't believe
I love this.
You just that shit is hideous. That is.
I love these jerseys. I like these jerseys. How dare you? That's how the mid conversation. It's just I found a way to shut up Nick. That's
that's fucking awesome.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I think we're reaching all the topics.
Yep.
Unless you guys got anything else, step in. Last minute thoughts.
I think that wraps us up here at the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. From us over here at SAP, we wish you adieu, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye from Nick, the Rook, and TJ, who is hammered.
Always.
Like and subscribe as always. Thank you very much.
Fun as always. Fun as always, guys.
Later. Good night, boys.
Good night.
Good night.
Go Golden Knights.
Stay rock.